All right, Bob, we have some people joining us. We'll give them a couple of seconds to log in.
Sounds
Thanks
good,
everyone
Dean.
who's here. Yeah, thanks for everyone who's here early on time. As a former teacher, Bob, I like it when your students are there on time, you know?
Agreed.
Perfect. Okay. Well, hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for an informative and exciting SeaDream Yacht Club webinar. My name is Dean Lapham. I'm the Senior Director of Professional Development and Trade here at CLIA, and I'm going to just quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. The webinar will run for about 40 to 45 minutes with time for questions at the end. So please feel free during the webinar to type your questions into the questions module, and we'll get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our presenter for today, who's going to share everything about SeaDream Yacht Club. Bob Lepisto has a lifetime worth of experience in the travel industry. He began his career as a sales executive of Continental Airlines, where he rose to the position of Vice President of Global Sales. Following his time in the airline business, Bob served as president of the Institute of Certified Travel Agents, the ICTA, from 1994 to 1999. Prior to joining SeaDream, Bob was vice president of sales for the Americas at Cunard Line and was responsible for both Cunard Line and Seabourn Cruise Line. In 2001, Bob was part of the original SeaDream team, responsible for the launch of the company in the position of Senior Vice President, Worldwide Marketing and Sales. Bob became president of SeaDream in 2009 and is the proud grandfather of 4 grandchildren under the age of 4. I had to mention that, Bob. Bob, I'm excited to share with you all that makes SeaDream special. Take it away, Bob.
Thank you so much, Dean, and thank you, CLIA, for arranging these opportunities. If any of you are going to be at Cruise 360, both Dean and I will be there, and it would be a great opportunity to see you in person, as opposed to these webinars that we've now been doing for such a long time. You see at the top of the screen there, it's yachting, not cruising. My goal in these 30 or 40 minutes that we have together is to have you fully understand from SeaDream standpoint what that means. There's quite a bit that's been going on in the industry, and a lot of people have a tendency to use the word yachting with vessels far, far larger than our 2 little sweethearts, SeaDream 1 and SeaDream 2. With SeaDream, it truly is yachting, not cruising. And I'm proud to say so many enjoy the difference. This is our founder, Otley Brinnestad, and owner of the company. As Dean indicated, I started with the company 20 plus years ago. It's shocking, it seems like yesterday, but it truly is over 21 years now in the business. Otley was the original founder and owner of Seabourn Cruise Line. He absolutely loves the industry. He's an entrepreneur from Oslo, Norway. He's got multiple other companies, but SeaDream is truly his passion, and we have a great time doing what we have done. Right from the start, we use the coin, it's yachting, not cruising. And unfortunately, for many of the wrong reasons, it really does ring far more positive today than when we originally started the company. 56 couples, 95 crew members. We're 356 feet long. We're tiny little yachts, and it is simply SeaDream 1 and SeaDream 2. Now, let's talk about what the differences are and the real proof points. 56 couples served by 95 incredible crew members. You'll learn later on that we have some of our staterooms that convert into Commodore suites, so we really, on many of the voyages, truly do have a 1-to-1 crew to guest ratio. These 2 yachts are also incredible for full yacht charters. If you have 40 to a maximum of 56 couples who are looking for an exclusive opportunity, a wedding, an anniversary, a corporate incentive, just a getaway for a golf or country club or a yacht club, I love sending out commission checks of $80,000 to $100,000 to travel advisors for making a full yacht charter sale. And we have a lot of advisors over the years we've been in business who've enjoyed just that. From an itinerary standpoint, we go where the larger vessels absolutely cannot and do not go. And I'll show you some pictures of that. We've got incredible water sports available. Who else has a water slide that goes down 3 levels or wave runners? We are able to have all our guests dining outside or inside at any time. I don't know of any other vessel that really can do that, where 100% of the guests are able to dine outside or inside. From a cuisine standpoint, you'll learn it's the ultimate in choice. And for anyone who needs vegan, gluten-free, or any other dietary restrictions, it doesn't get better than SeaDream. You'll also see some opportunities to sleep under the stars with personalized pajamas. Our guests get their own personalized pajamas with their name on them on the first night of the voyage. We actually have some pajama parties with small groups on board where groups of friends want to do that. Totally possible on SeaDream. And lastly, you'll see that during the pandemic, we were able to fully renovate both of the yachts. So over $10 million investment was done with the yachts. Now, with SeaDream, it's a casually elegant experience. There's no need for ties, tuxedos, any gala gowns. There's nothing approaching a formal night. We do have a little bit of a dress code. When we're in the dining room, we like the gentlemen to have collared shirts, but most don't even bring a sport jacket. Many choose to. That's perfectly fine, but it's not a strict kind of dress code or anything approaching a formal night. And this is an example of how guests are greeted as they're embarking our voyage. What you'll hear from your clients: I can't believe the incredible crew. I couldn't believe the incredible cuisine. And I also absolutely couldn't believe the other guests that I met on SeaDream. They'll tell you more than likely that they're rebooking for the future with somebody they actually met on board, because our guests just love the interaction with other guests on board. Most of our dining is done outdoors in the open air. When we studied yachting, we found that although there's beautiful dining salons and dining rooms on the big mega yachts, everybody really wants to be out in the open air, and we feature the opportunity to do nothing but that. When we're in the Mediterranean, we go to the local markets and get local cuisine. And here's some examples just quickly of the kind of cuisine your clients will enjoy when you recommend SeaDream Yacht Club, and I guarantee they will tell you about the cuisine on board. Examples of some desserts. And I mentioned vegan and healthy choices. We have incredible healthy choices on each and every menu. We don't overly push it. So if you like the rich sauces and the, the steaks, the fillets, and so forth, like I do, you won't feel like you're making a major mistake. But anybody who really wants to go with the healthiest of choices on SeaDream clearly will have the opportunity to do so. Now, further to the yachting experience, it's about being on the water. It's about enjoying the water. We have incredible water sports equipment: wave runners, sailboats, stand-upon paddle boards, the banana boat, the swimming island, and we just introduced this incredible slide going from the pool deck. Actually, it's down 3 full levels into the water, and our guests are absolutely having a blast on these. If anything says it's yachting, not cruising, I hope you agree this image does just that. We have a golf simulator on both of the yachts. We also have really nice mountain bikes so the guests can get out and enjoy. SeaDream's really an active, outdoor-oriented, healthy experience that fortunately appeals to so many. Now, I mentioned the $10 million dramatic renovation. This is the new look of our staterooms. We've got 56 yacht club, or 56 staterooms on board each of the yachts. 48 are yacht club 54 are yacht club staterooms, which are basically identical to this at 195 square feet, all ocean view, and all configured as you can see here. If you were on deck 2, as opposed to deck 3 and 4, where you see that large rectangular window, on deck 2 you have the 2 very large portholes, but they're still outdoor. I mean, very ocean view, a lot of light, natural light in there, just as good. Our pricing on deck 2 is a little lower than deck 3 and 4, but again, the stateroom itself is actually identical. Now, I mentioned 16 of those yacht club staterooms do have the ability to convert by removing a wall, and they become what we call a Commodore suite. There's 4 of these available on deck 3 and 4 on deck 2, and many times at 390 square feet, many times a good number of these are opened up and made into Commodore suites. And that's why I said, you know, we basically do have a crew to guest ratio of 1-to-1. Then we have one Admiral suite. It's number 400, as you can see here. It's got a full master bath, a guest bathroom, a nice living room, and very great ocean views. And then we have one owner suite. It's number 315 at 447 square feet, and it's configured as you can see here. What we also did with the dramatic renovation is we put totally new decking throughout the entire yacht, as you can see here. The one nice thing you can see also in this image is you just go a few steps down from the pool deck to the yacht's marina, and it's from this pool deck that you have the opportunity to enjoy that incredible water slide. We also expanded the deck 6 area and put all new furniture, these 2 new couples hot tubs. We have our golf simulator still up there. You could see a beautiful hammock, and we have some nice new showers, as well as this Instagram wall on deck 6 forward. It's just forward of our top of the yacht bar area. We also still have our incredible Balinese dream beds, and guests like to sleep under the stars. And if you request the opportunity to sleep under the stars, we make up the bed in a very proper way with Belgian linens, soft duvet, pillow, and so forth. And a lot of guests love doing just that. Forward on deck 6, forward of the golf simulator there, we also have the opportunity for the larger Balinese dream bed. And some of our honeymoon couples or couples with vow renewals, that sort of thing, they love having some exclusive space forward on deck 6 with this incredible Balinese dream bed. We were also the absolute first early this past summer to install Starlink, and it's totally a game changer relative to internet at sea. I think you've probably seen others in the industry have now started to or are in the process of introducing these low-level satellites, but it totally is a game changer. So if you have clients, and I don't recommend this on SeaDream, my recommendation is totally disconnect, but if you have clients who absolutely need to be fully connected, they absolutely have that opportunity on SeaDream 1 and SeaDream 2. Now, because we don't want everybody working, we have a lot of fun on board. We have a pianist, have a guitar player, we do disco parties up here at the top of the yacht bar, as well as down around the pool area. There's a lot to do. We have a small casino. I shouldn't even call it a casino. It's really a gaming table adjacent to our piano bar, but it's a real fun area of the yacht. And we also do some of the evenings, movies under the stars, as you can see in this image as well. We also have an incredible spa on SeaDream 1 and SeaDream 2. We've got 5 massage therapists. They're all from Thailand. We're the only member of the Thai Spa Association, and your clients will return telling you, I had the best massage treatment I've ever had on SeaDream. These ladies absolutely do a spectacular job. We have massage treatments on deck 4 forward in our fitness area. We also do massage treatments on some of the beaches that we have when we're in the Caribbean, when we're doing our champagne and caviar splash. We also offer every morning, and again, this isn't pushed too hard, but it's available. We do Tai Chi and yoga in the morning for guests who want to enjoy this. And there's no extra fee or anything for the Tai Chi and yoga. I might mention there is an extra fee for the massage treatments, though. Now, from an itinerary standpoint, I mentioned we go where the big ships cannot or do not go. In the Caribbean, we go to places like Saba. Who else goes to Saba? Who else goes to Norman Island? Jos Van Dyke. Our guests absolutely love Anguilla. We do both the Grenadines as well as the US and British Virgin Islands. I mentioned the champagne and caviar splash. Here's our incredible crew members getting ready to welcome guests to enjoy their champagne and caviar. It's done in the Caribbean along with a gourmet beach barbecue. The guests love this. Normally it's done toward the end of the voyage when everybody knows each other. They're just totally having the time of their lives. Just quickly, a few Caribbean examples of itineraries. We've got some space on these April voyage 15 through 22, St. Thomas to San Juan, San Juan to St. Martin in December. Also a December 9 through 16 St. Martin round trip. And then in February, we have a 7-night voyage, St. Martin round trip as well. On most of our voyages, we overnight in St. Bart's because our guests absolutely love overnighting there. And on all of our Caribbean voyages, we have our beach barbecue as well as our champagne and caviar in the surf. Now, from a Mediterranean standpoint, we also go where most of the big vessels cannot. We can go all the way up to Seville. We go into Var. We can back into Bonifacio, Positano, Hydra. Great itineraries in the Mediterranean. And here's just some examples of Mediterranean itineraries. In the Mediterranean, we don't go back and forth. Many of our guests want to stay on for 2 or 3 weeks in some cases. So oftentimes you could stay on for a full 3 weeks and never have a repeating port. We also do quite a few 10 and 11 night voyages simply because our very loyal guests, they like the longer voyages than the 7 nights. And in some cases, they're not interested in the full 14 nights. So you'll see quite a few itineraries of 10 and 11 nights. We also, in the coming season, we're going back into Istanbul. We've got a voyage that goes into Israel. And we have now also announced, here's an example. You can see here we are going through the Corinth Canal. You can see there's quite a bit of space with our little yacht in the Corinth Canal, and none of the big vessels can get anywhere close to going through the Corinth Canal. The other real blessing in the Mediterranean, when it comes to Venice, we have not been removed from the Grand Canal and right in the heart of Venice. We can go right into the heart of Venice with both SeaDream 1 and SeaDream 2, as you can see we're doing here. There's nothing like either arriving in the morning or departing in the evening, the Grand Canal in Venice on little SeaDream Yacht Club. Now, we also have now announced, and it's selling like really in a positive way, Northern Europe and Norway and Sweden, the kind of fjord region or part of the Baltic in 25. We were blessed in the fact that during the pandemic, Otley went to the government of Norway and got exclusive approval to operate Norway-only voyages during the pandemic. So it was Norway-only voyages. However, it was only for Norwegians. We did our kind of COVID bubble voyages for Norwegians. The most important part of that was we introduced SeaDream to a lot of Norwegian guests. But more important than that was we kept our crew members together as family on SeaDream. When we restarted after the total shutdown, we were able to retain close to 95% of our crew members. So now our loyal guests coming back are seeing all the crew members they've come to love over the years. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Here we are in the fjords. We've got incredible voyages in the fjords. This was taken during that pandemic period. Look at that magical, magical colors. We're also really good, as I mentioned early on, for charters. I have to tell you, when you talk to your clients who are looking for an incredible venue for a special event, at least put SeaDream Yacht Club on the table. We're popular for incentive events, milestone birthday celebrations. We've done a lot of those, anniversaries, weddings, affinity groups, yacht clubs, country clubs, you name it. We're a great, great venue for people with similar interests or family reunions getting together. We can customize the itinerary. We have a dedicated charter coordinator to handle all the planning in conjunction with you and your client. And again, as I mentioned early on, I love the opportunity to send out commission checks for up to $100,000 for one sail done by a travel advisor. And I have to tell you, the advisors who have successfully sold SeaDream, they tell me personally, I wish I could only do SeaDream charters because it just works so well. And interestingly enough, we have a large repeat factor, both with incentive charter clients as well as with private charter clients. Again, customized itineraries, onboard entertainment. We do menus, decor, fireworks, shore excursions. You name it, you really can't come up with an idea. I think I showed you in that earlier picture where we actually, BMW wanted their guests to be dining around their concept car during the Grand Prix in Monte Carlo, and we figured out how to put their automobile over our pool deck for their charter. Now, we're also very good for groups, and many of you are really successful sellers of groups. We have on some voyages a full tour conductor stateroom once you achieve 8 sold staterooms. On other voyages, we provide a berth upon achieving 8 sold staterooms, and then the full stateroom on 16 sold. We have a maximum of 2 tour conductor staterooms per group. Again, it's on select voyages, not all voyages. And we do have a deposit of $300, which holds the rate for a full 3 months during your promotional period. Any of your sales directors can help you understand how to take out a group agreement. They're very friendly, and we love having smaller groups on SeaDream. Perfect targets for this is family and friends, milestone events, yacht country clubs, wine clubs, fine restaurants, any kind of a affinity group of people who enjoy similar interests. Now, from a sales support standpoint, we've got our sales directors, and I'll show you their contact information and where they're located. We do have both printed and electronic brochures. You can go right on our website and request brochures if you want our brochures that are now valid all the way through those voyages in 2025. People are loving our new printed brochures. We do have customized flyers that I'll show you in a moment, where you can go to customize on the website a voyage for you to promote as a group voyage. We do have travel advisor rates available, and once you sail with us, you'll totally get what I'm saying, and you'll be able to do just as passionate a presentation as I do about the SeaDream yachting experience. We do have some marketing and co-op support. We love consumer events that you schedule and do with us. Our sales directors would love to come out and support your selling effort in that regard. And then info@seadream.com, you can get our reservation support, or of course, go directly to our website and look for the travel advisor section of the website. Here's our sales directors in the US and Canada. Lucille covers Eastern Canada, Denise covers Western Canada, along with their large regions, as you can see. And I'm always available to assist any and every one of you in successfully selling SeaDream Yacht Club. This is our travel agent section of the website. You can see that big sharp arrow at the top. In very, very small print, you see travel agent. I need to change that to travel advisor, but right now it says travel agent up there. If you click there, then you get the travel agent center. You can see there's opportunity if you want to do online bookings. That flyer generator, very, very simply, I could train you in 2 minutes how to do a voyage-specific promotional piece by using the flyer generator. Maybe it would take 5 to 10 minutes, but it's very, very user-friendly. Even I can do it. We've got our image library, our video library, and you're able to download both images as well as videos. You can request brochures there. There's access for e-brochures, guest registration forms, as well as agency registration forms. So it's a very, very friendly area of the website. Now, a document that is also posted on this webinar is called A SeaDream Charter is Smarter. This is a one-page, very simple document that talks about what's included, what's not included, the award-winning dining, just a really nice little cheat sheet on promoting charters to your clients. Easily looked at, easily digested, and you can provide it to a client to look at what's included with SeaDream. We also do charters anywhere from 3 up to 14 days. We've done longer than 14 days, but never think that you have to do 7 or you have to do 10 or 11. Remember, we're very, very accommodating and flexible in doing shorter charters than 7 nights. We also have this SeaDream Difference. It's customizable PDF that's available that you could utilize as well. A very nice quick reference selling guide on, it's just a really quick reference to keep you knowledgeable about what to say when you get a client that you think, boy, that SeaDream Yacht Club would be the perfect fit for this person. And here's how to connect with us. And lastly, the reason, as the president of SeaDream Yacht Club now for many years, the reason I sleep well at night are these incredible 95 crew members. I can't tell you how very proud I am. And I get more proud every time I read the guest comment reviews each and every Monday or Tuesday after the prior week's voyages. They really, really earn the incredible comments that they get from our guests. And fortunately, from your standpoint, most of your clients who you send to SeaDream will rebook future voyages on board. And when they do, you get full credit for that onboard booking. Just last week, these are two comments that came from as I was reading through, and I just thought they're so heartfelt that I just wanted to, they're two separate ones. The first one said, "We hadn't sailed on SeaDream in 15 years, but it is just as great, if not better now. Thank you for a wonderful trip." And another one, and this one kind of, for all of us, so much has changed in our lives, but so much changed in life, but not SeaDream. I wish SeaDream and us could be around forever. I just love that comment that came from one of our many guests. And the overall guest ratings on a scale of 1 to 10 are coming in at 9.75. So again, I don't deal with complaints. People love the little tiny SeaDream Yacht Club, and it truly is yachting, not cruising. So many advisors love this image, and then I somebody sent me this one as well. But that's just an example of the very large vessels that provide incredible experiences as well. But we're simply different. For those who are looking for a yachting experience, I guarantee to you from the bottom of my heart, they'll thank you for recommending SeaDream, because more than likely, if you don't recommend us, they will never hear about us. So I do sincerely thank you for your time. We are all, the sales directors, our team in reservations, as well as myself, are available to you for any questions you may have. We look forward to welcoming your clients on a future voyage. And Dean, if there's any questions that were typed in, I'm more than happy to respond to them.
Excellent, Bob. Thank you so much. Those are amazing vessels, and they look so much fun. I just want to jump on the slide right now. So we have some questions that came in. One of the questions is there an area where people can smoke cigars on the yachts?
There is an area. It's starboard on the yacht, and it is up on deck 6 near the top of the yacht bar on the starboard side.
Perfect.
There's no smoking in any interior space of the yacht.
It is outside. Okay. Another question came in. Bob, what is the average age of the guests?
You know, we trend younger than the luxury cruise lines in general. So in the late 50s would be our average age, right late 50s, early 60s, right in there. But I really almost hate to use average age. It's really for the person who's more active and young at heart. They really love SeaDream. Another comment card that came 3 weeks ago from somebody on one of our charters. They actually are a family that own a spectacular home on the top of Tortola. But one of my favorite comments ever came from a 93-year-old lady who was in our Admiral suite. And she simply told me how incredible the crew was in taking care of her every need. And she indicated she just can't wait to come back. So, I mean, to see her handwritten note telling me her comments about her experience of her life is what she said also. I just loved it. So we have folks in their 70s and 80s who are young at heart and still mobile. And we, of course, have honeymoon couples in their late 20s, 30s.
Excellent. I can imagine that there's, with such a neat ratio, that there's probably a lot of friendships that form from the guests on board and the staff. I can picture it, because if you're with them all the time, and it's not, like you said, a large ship where you really get to see the same people a lot, right?
You really do. And I love personally, I normally go maybe 3 times a year. And I do my best to stay incognito as much as possible. But for me, it's just a magical experience every time I'm on board, just watching the interaction of guests with other guests and guests with crew members. I will tell you, sometimes I find, especially ladies, who they will know more than half of the yacht by the end of the voyage. And it really does constantly happen where people tell me stories about meeting friends for life on SeaDream, and how important that aspect of their travel experience is, just meeting other very fascinating people on board. I also hear from charter clients that there's something about the layout of the yacht, the pool deck, the top of the yacht bar, the piano bar, the energy that takes place on board, how charter clients, for corporate type incentives, they don't know of any hotel venue or any other venue that more comfortably gets people connecting with other people. I just love hearing those kind of stories.
That's excellent. And a few other questions that came in. So one of the questions kind of relates to what you're just saying, as far as people getting to know other people. So I guess the question would be, what about families traveling together? What, like, for kids, what would you recommend? Like, what about multi-generational families?
I love that question. And there's kind of two answers to it. A couple with children under 10 years old would not be the right choice for SeaDream. We do no babysitting. We have no pre-planned kiddie programs. I would also say, as the kids get a little older, and they're well-traveled teenagers, during the holiday period or during the summer months, they will love SeaDream because of all of our activities. So we're good for that, teenage and above with their parents. We're also good for multi-generational family groups, where the family unit is going to be taking care of the young ones themselves. And sometimes we have groups where they'll bring a nanny along to be, babysitting all the time, and then it can work out fine. But we really are not the right choice for a couple with children under 10, say.
Got you. Very good answer. What about, does the yacht have an elevator?
Yeah, we have an elevator that serves deck 2, which is our indoor dining salon, and we have staterooms on deck 2, all the way up to deck 5. To go up to deck 6, which is where the top of the yacht bar and the Balinese dream beds and the golf simulator, there are about 12 steps. So anybody who has a mobility challenge would need to be aware of that. There's still a lot of yacht to cover without going up to deck 6, but they simply need to be aware of that. And the elevator is, right midship, so it's very available for anyone who wants to use the elevator. But I will tell you, most people, just choose to take the few steps up from deck to deck.
Excellent. Okay. In relation to, I know with smaller yachts, a question came regarding medical on board. So I imagine there are trained people on your staff to take care of medical emergencies, but what about medical on board?
Yeah, we actually have a full-time doctor. We have a small, we call it a hospital, but it's a small medical facility on deck 5. Our doctors, anytime somebody needs a doctor, they love our doctors who are primarily from the Philippines, but they're incredible professionals. And on a small yacht like this, you don't only do one thing. For example, you'll get to know our doctor down in the water sports platform. You'll get to know our casino or our card dealer also at water sports and in other areas of the yacht. So it's the kind of experience where you really do get to know the crew members because they're not only doing one thing. And you will also really get to know our captains. Our captains are out, they're engaging, they're really, really favorites of many of the crew members, many of the guests on board.
Gotcha. So, kind of going, someone had a follow-up question. So if you were in a wheelchair, the only deck that you wouldn't be able to get to is deck 6 because you would have to go up about 12 steps, correct?
That is correct. And we do have a stateroom 215 has a bath, and it's got larger door areas and so forth. So it is ready for wheelchair and very accessible for guests in wheelchairs. But I would say also, because the yachts are older, they weren't built in the recent years where the requirements were more significant. We are less handicap friendly than some of the other choices you may have out there. And another point is we love being at anchor. We don't like to be dockside other than on embark and disembark because of all the water sports opportunities that we want available to our guests, and to be true to it's yachting, not cruising. So there is a gangway with steps to go down for boarding the tender back and forth to places like St. Bart's or Saint-Tropez or wherever. So more often than not, we are not dockside. We're actually using our tenders back and forth.
Excellent, thank you. You showed us some amazing itineraries, and you say that you go on like 3 times a year. So I have to ask the question, Bob, what's your favorite voyage and why?
It's kind of 2 answers. One, if somebody has never been, for example, to the Mediterranean, then my absolute favorite voyage is Venice around to Rome in 10 nights, or Rome all the way around the boot and up to Venice. And just briefly, the reason that's a favorite for me is it has the excitement of the Capri, Amalfi area and the great shopping. Then you get down to Taormina, which is a really, really great stop for us. You come around and you get up to Kotor, Montenegro, and going up that fjord on little tiny SeaDream is just magical out in the open deck area, or as you're enjoying your lunch or evening cocktails. And then you get the incredible calm waters of Croatia. I will tell you, and we anchor off Dubrovnik in Old Town, so you're tendering right into Old Town Dubrovnik as an example. We anchor off Var, and you get all those water sports opportunities. We have had the waters of Croatia so still at times. We've actually been able to open up our little marina platform and let guests go swimming. Well, we're not even at anchor. We, of course, put out the Zodiacs, and we, take all the appropriate precautions. But sometimes those waters in Croatia can be so calm and the current so gentle that we were able to do that. Another interesting story in that regard, on transatlantic voyages, and we normally sell, close to sold out for our transatlantic voyages. We've been able to let the guests go swimming transatlantic, and we give the captain signed certificates for guests who go at depths of over 2,000 feet, where people, interestingly enough, they either say, God, I'd love to do that, or not a chance in the world would I swim transatlantic.
Yep, exactly. So Bob, with your experience, if you have a new travel agent with excursions, do you recommend trying to book the excursions before they get on board, or are they able to book while on board? And can you give them a little bit of background on that for your
Yeah,
opinion and a little bit about SeaDream?
yeah. We provide a savings opportunity of 10% for shore excursions that are booked prior to embarkation. So there is that savings, that opportunity. And I think what you'll find is your clients, you know this probably better than me, they really like to, dream about their upcoming holiday and kind of get some plans in place. So that whole booking shore excursions in advance is a part of the holiday. It's part of them enjoying it immensely. Now, that said, we have a lot of guests who just wait to get on board and they want to hear what our club director has to say and what other guests are doing, and they prefer to kind of play it by ear and book shore excursions on board. Both options are fully acceptable, fully available, and it really depends on what your client is thinking and how they like to plan.
Excellent. So, Bob, we've got a few questions that came in more along the lines of looking at the itineraries and the website. Is there any way you could scroll back to that page that has the information for travel agents booking? And so people can take a picture of that and with their cell phones if they wanted to see.
Here's the sales directors.
So if you want to take a picture of that,
you can clearly see the map and what areas they cover. And they're all incredible individuals who who love what they're doing.
Great.
And again, you have my contact information. Although I'm the president, we're a small company, so don't hesitate to let me know if I may assist you in any way as well.
Excellent. So people can get information from the BDMs, and for anything that was very specific about costs and transfer from airport to or hotels, any of those type of questions that people ask, that would be questions that you could ask the BDM, and I'm sure I will be forwarding all of these questions to Bob and with your name and your email address, so he will have these as well. So if we didn't answer them in today's webinar, he will be following up with you. So this has been really fantastic. Oh, one just came in about, it says, people with allergies, what is the process? So I think if you have food allergies, you could prep the crew,
In the booking process, you can make, with the guest registration, you can make us aware of those allergies. But I would also say on board, any specific dietary requests, even if it's, just I love carrot cake, and this is what, basically anything, but if it is any allergy related or gluten-free or vegan, I mean, we are so adept at handling all of those requests in just a superb way. There's nothing, unless you think the allergy is so out there and so unique, I just guarantee it can be handled on board. But if it's something, that's very dramatic and very unique, please let us know in advance, and then we'll respond promptly to whatever that may be.
Perfect. Bob, we have a few travel agents that are on, travel advisors that are here today that might be just starting out in their career, and they are so interested in all the different cruise lines, and especially hearing more about SeaDream. But do you have any advice for someone who's just starting out in the industry, or do you have any advice for travel agents from your own experience of what are some things that they could be doing now to really become better at their jobs? Like maybe one or two things that you would suggest.
I will tell you a few things. First off, you're in a competitive business, just like any of us in the I put us in a little different category, but anyone in the cruise business, it's a competitive business. Anyone in hospitality, it's a competitive business. But you as a travel advisor really need to do your best to set yourself apart. And, having run the Institute of Certified Travel Agents, I know CLIA has incredible educational opportunities that are available. Also, the Institute has the CTC certification or CTA certification that can set yourself apart as a true professional, somebody who is doing this as a business and just not, a kind of a pastime. And we are constantly in our communications recommending the use of travel advisors in order to gain the absolute best service and best knowledge of what all the options are out there. You're spending a lot of time on this call and other calls and training and coming to Cruise 360. You have the knowledge that so many naive travelers really are hungry for. Some of them, think they can do it all online, but the smart ones are seeking out true professional travel advisors, and any of those certifications that you can earn, I recommend going after them because they really do set you apart.
Excellent. Thank you, Bob. That's excellent. And I think, as they become better at their position, and as they, like you said, the transfer of knowledge from folks like yourself and from attending these webinars and from going to the live events and going to Cruise 360, but it really differentiates yourself from the other people. And people are hungry. They really want to get back on board and they want to travel. And these are amazing trips. How far in advance do you recommend people plan for the trips to Europe?
I would say the booking curve for Europe is far greater. And a lot of voyages. I'll tell you. I mean, we just had explosive bookings for Northern Europe. Now, we hadn't been there for a while, and we have really, really loyal guests, which helped. But it's not unreasonable to really be doing a lot of bookings now in 25 and 24. And I will tell you, not only SeaDream, but other companies, they practice, and airlines are probably the experts at this, but people practice something called revenue management. Those who do book early, in most cases, are getting the absolute best value. And we increase our prices as voyages fill up. And you need to be aware, and your clients need to be aware of that taking place, not only with SeaDream, but almost all travel suppliers who are able to do so.
Excellent. Very good, Bob. Thank you for that. There was a question that just came in about a training program through SeaDream. Do you have anything available for travel agents, travel advisors?
We do not have a formalized training program. However, I will tell you some of those documents that you've got posted here that can be printed, they absolutely will assist you. That travel agent guide is a great, great tool to enhance your learning. We're not real tough to learn. We may be tough to remember because we're so small and so boutique and so unique, and we're not doing tons of direct mail or tons of advertising. But we've got 2 identical yachts that have the 56 staterooms and 95 crew members. So we're not a real complex product to get to know and understand.
Excellent. Perfect. That was awesome. And again, we are going to be posting this on CLIA Global on the YouTube site and on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and revisit some of the information that Bob shared with you today, feel free to do that. We will send you the link. You'll be receiving an email with the link to the YouTube channel, so you'll be getting that. And again, like I said before, Bob will be getting in touch with anyone who asked a very specific question, and or he'll pass it on to one of his sales managers in the United States. Bob, thank you so much. That was amazing. Do you have any parting words for us?
The parting words that I have is I'm looking forward to that travel advisor who sends me a request for a charter that permits me to send you a commission check for from $70,000 to $100,000. And it can be done. I actually have sent commission checks as high as $150,000 to a travel advisor in Jupiter, Florida, who sold a Christmas and New Year's charter on SeaDream to her client. So let me know.
That sounds awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you all so much for your time. And Dean, thank you for such a professional coordination of this event.
That was great. Thanks, Bob. And thank you, everyone out there. And we will see you on the seas in SeaDream 1 or SeaDream 2. You all have a great afternoon. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye now.